this is Lisa Molitor, Azusa Pacific, Orange Campus, EDUC 515, Professor Jeff McKendrick's Fall 2010. If you walk into any classroom, the one thing that is constant is a whiteboard, chalkboard, or smartboard. These have been created by a long history. In the 18th and 19th century, they started as individual pieces of slate with no chalk at all. Students used another piece of slate to write on the board and erased it with a simple rag. These slate boards were used excessively because of the high cost of paper. This all changed when a geography teacher by the name of Mr. James Pilson in Scotland hung the individual slates on the wall to make a larger piece, and thus the history began. The first time this was used in a U.S. classroom was at the U.S. Military Academy at West Point in 1801 by Mr. George Barron. With the progression of the railroads, by the mid-1800s, almost all classrooms had the convenience of these boards by that time. As the boards progressed, the slate used to write with was replaced with chalk. Soon the boards were no longer made of slate. Instead, steel sheets with porcelain enamel were used. Steel blackboards were invented in the 1960s. They soon realized that the green color of the chalkboards was easier on the students' eyes. However, there are many colors of chalkboards today. In the 1990s, the realization that chalk and the dust that it causes was a growing concern of students, especially those with asthma. This was the reason for the invention of the whiteboard. Whiteboards are plastic, and it is a cleaner choice than the chalkboard. No one is specifically credited with this invention. However, it began to be increasingly popular due to the health benefits and the cleanliness in the 1990s. Soon after the invention of the whiteboard, the interactive whiteboard was invented. In 1992, Intel created the interactive whiteboard for business use. By the late 1990s, the whiteboard piqued the interest of K-12 teachers who realized what a resource it would be in the classroom. In 2001, the interactive whiteboard began to be connected to the computer and began to be more wireless in nature. The interactive whiteboard is known more commonly today as a smartboard. In order for it to project things from the computer, it also requires a projector. Most textbooks are now available online so that you can project your text as opposed to having to read it out of a book. Most of the new curriculum available is also available with videos and great resources that we can use in the classroom. What a long way the chalkboard has come. Although not every classroom has an interactive whiteboard, they've become very popular in recent years. Can you imagine only having a piece of slate in front of you? Aren't you glad that the chalkboard has come so far? I know, as a teacher, I am.